Good morning, Dr. Jonathan Green here. I want to talk to you a little bit about my blog, Lessons I've Learned. You can find that through Wix.com. I believe it's also at lessonsivelearned.com. Regarding living our best life and being honest with ourselves. You know, this may sound like a very touchy-feely, warm, fuzzy kind of topic, and yet that's not necessarily where I'm trying to go here. You know, there are a lot of motivational books out there, tools, blogs that talk about, doing what feels right and being honest with yourself and being true to yourself. Now, these are all wonderful concepts, but in all honesty, it starts to get a little touchy-feely, and in all honesty, it's kind of warm and mushy and doesn't really have a lot of structure unless we have a clear understanding of what that means. So when we talk about being true to ourselves, do you know what it is that you really enjoy doing? Years ago, there was for those of us who were children of the probably late 60s, early 70s, there was a program called Schoolhouse Rock that was on Saturday mornings, often between cartoons. Though I didn't watch a lot of cartoons as a kid, every once in a while, we'd have family in town, and my cousins and I we would watch some of these cartoons, and Schoolhouse Rock would come in. And one of the things on there was Dr. Henry's Emergency Lessons for People. Now, whether you liked Schoolhouse Rock or these things, I thought one of the things that a lesson I carried out of that I thought was terrific was know what it is that you enjoy doing, and you'll never have to work a day in your life because you'll always be doing what you enjoy, and the money will follow, the people will follow. I think this is a concept that's still very true to this day. If we're doing what we really enjoy, it doesn't really feel like a job anymore. For example, I teach, I write, I publish, and there are some days that there are tasks within these jobs that I don't necessarily enjoy, but I don't really always look at them as jobs either. I get to help people improve their overall quality of life, improve the end products, improve their results. And that's something I've enjoyed after 20 years working in the psych field, and trying to make a difference in people's lives, one person at a time, sometimes large groups. And I've been able to do that. I'll be honest with you, when I moved to writing more and teaching, I felt that I was able to help many more people. Now, I don't go as in depth, obviously, so much anymore as I did as a counselor, as a therapist, as a caseworker, or social worker. However, we're still providing opportunities to bring out the best options, opportunities, and capabilities within the individual. And that's really what we're talking about here. So when I talk about lessons I've learned on my blog, or through these videos, it's important to consider, what are the experiences that we bring? What are the lessons that we bring? What is the knowledge and education that we bring? Sometimes that can be through relationships. Sometimes that can be through formal knowledge, or formal education. Sometimes that can be through informal education and just lived experiences, things we've come across along those lines. So are you being honest with yourself about what it is you really want to do? Years ago, I came across a situation with a friend of mine that I went to college with. Looking at me, obviously, I'm not high school or college anymore. Those days are long gone. At least for the standard college age going in right after high school, right? We have a lot of adult learners that I work with. A friend I went to high school with, I know I said college a moment ago, but a friend I went to high school with had chosen to go into the dental field and had done very well for himself in the dental field. It had been what he'd wanted to do since he was 15. In high school, he would take classes, biology, chemistry, on these lines to get into med school. He did. He got into a good dental school. He opened his own practice, did very well for himself. And I came across him one time on a brief visit home to see my mom. I don't live anywhere near my hometown anymore. I'm in Texas and I grew up in California. And when I was home, I saw him at Starbucks. I hadn't seen him in probably 20 years. Um, wasn't sure if it was the right person or not. We wound up talking for a few minutes. And one of the things that came up was that he wasn't really happy doing what he was doing. Now, he enjoyed dentistry, but he wasn't really a dentist anymore. He was now operating multiple dental offices and a clinic, but wasn't really doing the dental work anymore. Wasn't really doing dentistry so much. He was now running an organization of dentists and dental services. So when we talked about that a little bit, we talked about some different ways that he could maybe recapture some of that excitement that he had back in high school, and probably throughout college as he was going to dental school and maybe just starting out. Um, and in so doing, he was able to make some changes. I followed up with him a couple times over the next year. Eventually, he was flying through the Dallas area where I now live, and he and I met and we talked. And in that year, he had been able to complete a book that he had wanted to write about his experiences. He had hired a managing director for the practices. So he was now the owner and would have to do some of that administrative stuff, but was able to get back into doing some dental work, as well as was able to start doing a little bit of pro bono. And what I thought was really cool is because where I live, there's several universities, but they're within a couple hours of each other, a couple hours of my hometown. And he started teaching at some of the schools in the area on dentistry, on small business, things like that. And he was back doing what he really loved, making a difference in people's lives. He still made a very comfortable living, actually wound up growing his income as a result of that. Growing his income, he was already making 7 figures. So growing his income wasn't a huge objective, but it was a nice side benefit. And he was doing what he enjoyed. He had a new vigor for it. And though I'm in my 50s now, this was in our mid 40s. He knew he would be able to do what he'd wanted to do for probably the next 20 years if he wanted, and take on a new perspective of that, take on new avenues, doing what he enjoyed, and continuing to grow his business to create a good life for his family. This is a great example of lessons I've learned, right? Just because it's a decision that we made when we were 15 doesn't mean at 45 it's still the right decision. What might happen is we've made several different decisions, and now it's time to refine that, or go back, and hopefully we've been doing this anyhow over the last 35 years or 30 years if it's 15 to 45, right? To go back and look at that and say, are we really doing what we wanted to do, or have we gotten off course? Are we doing something slightly different than what we really wanted to do? And so then what's the end result of that? Have we now decided that I now have a job and I'm not really doing what I love anymore? Am I doing this because I have to maintain the lifestyle? Or has this series of decisions held me back from doing what I really want to do, and not really having the lifestyle, having the quality of life, having the enjoyment that I thought I was going to have in this field? So folks, these are just a couple different things to consider. One, to throw this out, I'll probably get some more videos out in the coming days talking about this. Get a chance to take a look at my blog, lessons I've learned. It'll be either under Dr. Jonathan Green or Jonathan Green. I look forward to talking to you soon. I look forward to your comments. Thank you for joining me during this time. I appreciate it, and you have a great day, and live the best life that you can. Thank you.